Hey guys, Zar here, back with you. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day. There's my very beautiful 2R big trade. And then, of course, it quadrupled that and went much further. And I joked around, of course, a lot about that on the Telegram group. And now we've had this orderly pullback. This is a 30-second chart, by the way. Let me take you back to the 1 minute. Here we go. We have just tagged the 21 EMA here, guys, on the 1 minute chart. And most of you know I like to see that when I can. Bear with me for one moment. Just going over to my own platform, going to set a little bracket order here for myself. And I'll show you what I'm thinking here. Although many of you who have been around for a while probably have a pretty good idea. We've had this nice zigzag pullback now. We have been in free fall. I'm going to delete this marker and this marker and this marker and that marker. And that's from earlier. And that's from earlier, and that's from earlier, and that's from earlier. Now we have a nice clean chart here, guys. Big exhaustion candle down here, and then sure enough, we have this snapback, orderly pull back into the 9, little zigzag correction now back into the 21. Nothing for me to do yet, guys, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking here along the way. If I'm looking to go short here, guys, and I'm not convinced that I will, but if I'm looking to go short here, I will be looking for this measured move to be completed, which it now is. And I'll show that to you by doing this and replicating that. See that there? Measured move is complete. The wick actually went a little bit further, and that's good to see. Now, if we round over, things get interesting. This is just a marker, guys. I'm not doing anything here, just thinking. Stop above that extended candle. This is the dance, guys. Very often on these big drop, these free fall drops, I'll look for a zigzag correction, A, B, C correction instead of just a single leg pullback like you see here. For example, if someone took a short in through here for some reason, this wouldn't be looking very good for them unless they have a stop way up here, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But for a continuation style move with a big drop, in fact, almost all my trend continuation trades, I look for a tagging of the 21 first, and then a break of a significant area. This break of one candle doesn't do it for me in most cases, right? But if we had several candles, maybe something that looked like, I don't have an example here for you, but several candles, maybe a congestion piece like this, and then breaking down below that, for instance, like this, where you have one bullish candle, two bearish candles, and then a breakdown below. Of course, we don't have that. We have nothing but bullish bodies here so far. Moving this to the side, guys, nothing for me to do. These can be very, very tricky, especially if this was on news, and I believe that Trump said something about tariffs. So a Trump news piece. Unscheduled news, of course, as is the style of Mr. President. All right, guys, we're back. You can see we have 4 wicks here. In other words, prices are pushing up, but then getting driven down. Pushing up, driven down, pushing up, driven down, pushing up, driven down. Now let's see if the bulls are going to continue to get tired here. All right, guys. Let's see if we can get a down candle here. Sell stop order, guys. Live order right there. Stop above this candle here. Here we go. There's that consolidation, that rounding I was talking about. The rounding won't be semi-complete until we break the bottom of this. I'm going to keep this live for now, guys, but I may cancel any moment. This is tricky. We are back into yesterday's range here on the daily. You see that up there? We could still drop. So while we're waiting here, guys, this is a good little teaching moment, I think. I see a lot of traders make the mistake of, after they see an orderly zigzag pullback, for instance, or a straight pullback into the 21, they will immediately take a break of a candle low, like I was mentioning before. But notice how there's no structure in here being broken. There's not even a single down candle, no real signs of weakness except for a wick, and that's not really enough. But here's where you start to get a consolidation story, right? A waning of momentum with all these wicks and a down candle and a bearish body. Here's an outside candle that finished with a bullish body. These bodies are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. This is waning buying momentum. There's also no selling momentum yet. But if we get that in the break below here, now we got this candle to work with too, which is nice. Then all of a sudden, there might be a resumption of the movement down. But the stuff in here is important to the story. And more buying guys coming in. So order canceled, move this to the side. There might not be a short in here. This is something that I've talked about before, guys, where if we pull back too deeply and it becomes less orderly and more extended, then it stops becoming one of my normal Tcon style trades, and I start to look for a potential Fibonacci retracement trade that looks like this. So I'm going to move that marker off to the side. You'll notice that we are now in the 50-618 kill zone, if you like. After these free fall moves, especially on news, we could go significantly higher than that, and that's okay too. All right, guys. I'm going to wait for that candle to close. 18 seconds. Order to enter below, guys. Stop right above. Right there, guys, below the current candle. Stop above that little wick there. Here we go. And I'm in, guys. I am in. Second trade of the day. Short the NASDAQ. This is a Fibonacci continuation trade, not a standard Tcon, as you can see by the structure. And target 1 has been hit, guys, and so the 1 hour all or nothing trader has left the game. And the 2 hour move stop to break even at 1 hour has moved their stop to break even just like that because we hit 1 hour. And we're back, guys, just watching prices grind around here. And while we're here, I want to draw your attention to the fact that I also entered very aggressively here and with the EMAs in a bullish configuration. Some of you might notice that the 9 is actually above the 21 and the EMAs are rising. And that's because this is not a typical trend continuation trade. It is a continuation of the major trend, but the entry is very different. It has to do with this being a Fibonacci retracement trade, right? The pullback of this entire leg here, this piece you can see here, this thrust down, which is part of the bigger leg, of course, at that 50-618 and below this pivot here, right? And to illustrate the point of keeping the EMA configurations in context, there's nothing magical about the 1 minute time frame. It's the overall structure that matters most, and trend, of course, momentum in the big picture story. In fact, if I move to a 2 minute chart, you will notice that the EMAs are in a bearish configuration. The 9 squeezing into the 21, really a textbook trend continuation trade, right? If you go to the 3 minute, you'll see something even more remote. And so context is key, time frame is key, fractal analysis is key. But overall, for me, all of my trades are based on structure, trend, overall story, multiple time frame analysis, and so on. The general guidelines for me for any kind of a trend continuation trade is to make sure that you're trading in line with EMA configuration and so on and so forth. And 90% of the time, you will actually see me do that on the 1 minute chart. But it doesn't have to be that if we have an extended move against the current trend into the fib retracement and what have you. Lots of buying coming in here now, guys. And target 2 has been hit, guys, and so the 1.5 hour all or nothing trader has left the game with full profits. Earlier on, in case I missed it, guys, the 2 hour move stop to break even at 1 hour has been stopped out at break even. I think I neglected to mention that. And there it is, guys. Finally, 3 out of the 4 models fully profitable and 1 break even. Thanks for being here. Have an amazing afternoon. Appreciate you. Talk soon.